How many times a day do you unlock your smartphone? A study of 150,000 people found that the average smartphone user unlocks their phone 110 times a day. We check our phones an average of 110 times a day because the apps on our phone have been designed to hook us. I read the book Hooked by Nir Eyal to understand 3 fundamental ways in which app developers hook us to their product and what we can do to unhook ourselves so that we can be less distracted and more productive throughout the day. The first way smartphone apps hook us is by providing an immediate relief to an uncomfortable emotion. When you feel bored, a list of interesting tweets or Instagram photos is one click away. When you feel uncertain, a list of Google search results is a few seconds away. And when you're feeling insignificant, you can tap the email icon on your phone and see a list of people who need you. Human beings have always felt bored, uncertain, and insignificant. But thanks to our smartphone, we've never had a faster way to remedy those negative emotions. Evan Williams, the co-founder of Medium and Twitter, tells us that the formula he and other technology companies use is take a human desire, preferably one that's been around for a really long time, and use modern technology to take out steps. App developers spend millions of dollars to find faster and faster ways to scratch our emotional itches. The faster an app can scratch an itch, the more likely we are to open that app. And the more often we open an app, the faster we are to develop a compulsive habit of checking our phone. The second way smartphone apps hook us is by providing variable rewards. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner put pigeons inside of a box. Inside of that box was a button, and every time the pigeons pecked the button, they received a food pellet. The pigeons learned to peck the button when they were hungry and stop when they were satiated. Then Skinner adjusted the food pellet dispenser so that sometimes the pigeons would peck the button and receive a food pellet, and sometimes they received nothing. This made the pigeons go insane. One pigeon pecked the button more than 2 times a second for 16 hours straight. I used to work at a casino, and I was shocked that people would sit at a slot machine all day, regardless of how much they were winning or losing. Now I understand why. Slot machines are programmed to give players a reward often enough to keep them interested, but variable enough to hook them. The smartphone is a little slot machine. When you tap the YouTube icon, how many interesting videos will you find? When you tap the Twitter icon, how many more followers will you have? Apps like YouTube and Twitter provide variable rewards by offering constant novelty. Every time you log into YouTube or Twitter, you know you're going to find a fresh list of content. The hunt to find content worth liking or sharing is pleasurable and addictive. The third way smartphone applications hook us is by getting us to make a small initial investment. When researchers asked a group of homeowners to put an ugly "drive carefully" sign in their front yards, only 17% accepted. But when the team of researchers asked another group of suburban residents to place a much smaller "be a safer driver" sign in their window, 76% accepted. What's crazy is when researchers returned 2 weeks later and asked the second group of homeowners to place the large and ugly "drive carefully" sign in their front yards, 53% accepted. Those homeowners, along with every other human being on the planet, has a desire to be consistent and take actions that are similar to actions they've previously performed. Apps incorporate this psychological principle into the design of their products. When you open up the Instagram app for the first time, Instagram asks you to add a friend. Instagram makes adding people easy by giving you popular suggestions or offering to scan your Facebook or contact list. Investing a small amount of time to add one person to your Instagram account makes you more likely to return to the app when Instagram sends you a notification later on. And the more often you return to the app, the more likely you are to form a mindless app checking habit. So now we know why we check our phone 110 times a day. Technology companies have a deep understanding of our human psychology and use technology to increase the speed in which their products can scratch our emotional itches, the frequency and variability with which they can offer a reward, and the ease with which they can get us to make an initial investment and spark our desire to be consistent. To overcome these powerful psychological forces and stop ourselves from checking our phone 110 times a day, it's helpful to understand the behavior model put forth by Stanford psychologist B.J. Fogg. Fogg says the likelihood of an action, like unlocking a phone, depends on 3 factors: motivation, ability, and triggers. Fogg uses the following example to explain why you might not answer your phone when someone calls you. Your phone rings, but you don't recognize the number. You think it's a telemarketer, so you're unmotivated to answer it, so you don't answer it. Then if your phone rings, but it's at the bottom of your bag, it will take too long to retrieve, so you don't answer it. And if your phone is on silent, you don't hear the call, so you don't answer it. Motivation, ability, and triggers. If you can lower any of these 3 components, you can reduce the likelihood that you'll check your phone 110 times a day. However, it's hard to reduce motivation if you're hooked to your smartphone. It's a better use of your time to focus on reducing ability and eliminating triggers. In the book, The Happiness Advantage, author Sean Achor introduces the 20-second rule. The 20-second rule states that if there's a 20-second buffer between your impulse to check your phone and your ability to check your phone, there's a good chance you won't check your phone. To create a 20-second buffer between you and your apps, you can put a long password on your phone so it takes a long time to unlock it. While you work, you can put your phone in a drawer under a stack of papers so it's hard to get to. And when you go to bed, you can charge your phone in another room. Any obstacles you can put between you and your apps puts you back in control. Next, you can eliminate the triggers that get you to check your phone by turning off all non-essential app notifications. The only app notifications I have on my phone are to-do list reminders and calendar events. If an app can't buzz, ding, or flash messages at you, that app is less likely to get you to use it. With these simple strategies, you can reduce the frequency with which you check your phone, which will gradually reduce the motivation you have to use your apps. When you understand how product developers design their products to hook you and what you can do to unhook yourself, you are well on your way to reclaiming your ability to focus and live a productive life. That was the core message that I gathered from Hooked. This book teaches you how to build habit-forming products. The information in this book can be used for both good and evil, depending on the product you're building. I recommend this book to people who are building products that they themselves would want to use on a regular basis. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you've already subscribed to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.